Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Star Citizen. After we died in the last episode, we had to equip ourselves again. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to do for this episode. I didn't want to try Stormbreaker as solo player again, because I want to go for it with a member of us soon anyway. Therefore I decided to make some money, and we started with a bounty hunter mission. So we hopped in our constellation to get to our target's last known location. It was supported by a lot of ships, but we used the same strategy as always. We ignored the support, destroyed our target, and got out as quick as possible. But somehow I wasn't in the mood for bounty hunting. We also did it quite recently anyway. And so I wanted to do something different. First I wanted to mine. But we didn't have the money for a prospector. And I also didn't want to fly back to Stanton to rent one. We also had no money for a vulture, so the only way to make something else was making money first. We didn't do any hauling missions in Pyro by now, so I thought it's time to change that. The Red Wind Hauling Company is the equivalent of Kovalex from the Stanton system. And because it's another company, we had to start in the Wookiee ranks.
Delivery boy? No, not again!
It wasn't much cargo, and so I decided to take our freelancer. I love the freelancer. We were almost there when stupid me noticed that I forgot the multi-tool. And so we couldn't handle the cargo. We had to fly back and I was a little grumpy at this point. I tend to get very angry at myself about stupid things like that. A couple of minutes later we returned, but it was pretty dark meanwhile and also cloudy. Even worse though, we weren't welcome. At first I thought it was bugged, because we also had some buggy missions in the stanton system, where it also often showed trespassing, even though nobody shot at us. So I was a little confused, to be honest. Then I thought we might land just nearby and pick up the goods by foot. Which was a terrible idea. Because it was a huge area and I didn't know where exactly to look for the cargo elevators. So it ended like it had to end. It turned out that it wasn't a bug. Most of the areas where the holding missions take part are controlled by the citizens of Prosperity. And since we are hostile with them, we can't deliver anything. Therefore we accepted a mercenary mission for the citizens of Prosperity to become at least neutral with them. The outpost Shepherd's Rest on Pyro's V was occupied by some headhunters. And it was our job to get rid of them and clear the outpost again. We were strongly advised not to hurt any allies or civilians. I didn't see any player ship nearby when we arrived, so I think there are also NPCs of the Citizens for Prosperity who fight with us. Which makes it even harder to catch the right ones, especially because the AI acts pretty weird in this game. I wasn't quite sure what was going on there. It looked like they were fighting also with ships, and our constellation was somewhere in the middle. So we cleared the inside area and went back to our ship again.
Engines on. Take off complete. Enemy down.
After we destroyed all the enemy ships, there were still some hostiles remaining. So we checked the building again. We found the last one in a side building, and after we accomplished the mission, we were neutral with the Citizens of Prosperity, which allows us to do holding missions in their territory. We flew back to Shepherd's Nest to finish our hauling mission. There was another player around, and since there is no law in the pyro system, I was a little bit afraid, to be honest. But it looked like this mate also had a hauling mission and wasn't much interested in us. After a couple of minutes, this player was done and gone, and so we picked up our cargo. I really love that you have to handle your cargo yourself, and just the immersion you get when you take the freight elevator up and into your ship. It's stunning. To those who played Wing Commander, just look how far we have come. Could you have imagined that back then? It's crazy. I love it. We delivered our cargo to the orbitary station. After we finished our first trainee job, we were able to access the rookie missions. One of them even almost pays you 100k, which is much more than the rookie missions from Covalex. So we accepted this one, and I was pretty confident to make some easy money. Well, you know the deal. As soon as I think something is easy, it mostly turns out to be the opposite. We had to pick up our cargo right here at the orbitary station, and our job was to deliver it to 3 different locations. The first one was on Bloom, also known as Pyro 3. We had to go to Shepherd's Rest, where we did our mercenary mission before. Well, there was another ship, and honestly I couldn't have played this more stupidly. This may catch me totally off guard, and I didn't even find the right button for the countermeasures.
Shields damaged.
At this point I thought we were dead already, but we were not. Not yet. So let's just pretend that never happened. The next day we took a similar mission, for the same amount of money but with a little different locations. As you could see, this mission went pretty well, and it put us halfway through the rookie rank. So I decided to do another mission, because I wanted to know how much we will get for a junior mission. We met some other players, or at least we saw some ships, but none of them was hostile. I guess this player was also rather new to the game, so I'm not the only noob around. Anyway though, the 600 player servers are amazing. The verse is much more busy now, and I love those moments when you meet other players. We only had one more delivery, but it was on the dark side again. This time I even expected another player or anything else, and even scanned the area. But it didn't look like there was any danger, and therefore we landed. Somehow I decided to use the multi-tool, and it turned out to be a good decision. The cargo lift wasn't up, and so we had to call it. If you are wondering what noise you are hearing in the background, well, I can tell you I asked myself the same question. Well, another player decided that he doesn't like our ship. Personally, I did less care about the ship, much more about the cargo. So I was looking around, hoping to find our cargo at least, but without any success. I was wondering how this player destroyed this turret though, because I thought you can only destroy them with a torpedo and there was no such explosion. Can you destroy them with cannons? Or guns? Because I think missiles don't work. Please let me know in the comments if you know. Anyway, if we would have used a tractor beam of our ship, then we would have been dead. This way though, we could at least deliver the 4 SCU. And I read that you can complete missions even with less than 100%. And it actually worked. We reached the junior rank, and the biggest mission gives us about 130k. Which is quite nice, but we will do in another episode. I hope you enjoyed the video and to see you in the verse. Your Mombi.